Hey guys, what is happening? So I don't know. I think the chat is behind by like 30 seconds to a minute. I really got to get a countdown clock, so this makes more sense. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Guys, let me know in the chat, how does my mic sound? How's my volume? I'm always worried about that. This is such a weird system where you guys, we can't actually tell what our volume and everything's going to be like until we start. So we have to rely then on you guys to tell us how we're doing. Ness Addict, hello. Hello, Devil Waldo. Yeah, Matt Tucker, soon on the stickers. This looks like it's going to be an awesome night. I see so many really cool people in the chat. Nikki Z, thank you so much for being here. Oh, thank you so much, Bobby Vu. And I really appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you know the way this works, guys. It's Chill and Chat with Michael B. We've got a topic here we're going to talk about, which is the legacy cabs. Are we going to upgrade, to consolidate space, make space, or do we think that maybe we won't want to do that, and why is that? Of course, that's just a suggested topic. I'm really here for you guys to talk about what you guys want to talk about in the chat. If you want to talk about pinball, anything else, we can do that too. This is completely up to you. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm here to chat with you about it. So, where do we start? Do we want to talk about the legacy cabinets? How many of you guys are actually Zohar? What's happening? Sometimes I like it when you're totally not Zohar, though. That makes me laugh. So, are we going to be upgrading? Are you guys getting the Capcom Legacy Cabinet? Are you getting the Atari Legacy Cabinet? Are you guys getting the Midway Legacy Cabinet? Are you getting one of the Legacy Cabinet and upgrading from what you have in the Arcade1Ups? And if so, why are you doing it? I have two pre-ordered. I'll give you a spoiler right now. I don't think it's a spoiler. I've been pretty vocal about this. I have the Capcom Legacy Cabinet pre-ordered. I also pre-ordered the Midway Legacy Cabinet. But I'm having second thoughts. Not so much about getting the Capcom Legacy Cabinet. I still really want that. I love the artwork. I've always, kind of eyed Cool Toys, dedicated Street Fighter II World Warrior Cabinet. And now Ralph just picked one up on the first episode of Arcade Pickers. And it's pretty cool. I was a big Air Jordan guy, Nike Jordan guy in the 90s, and that artwork reminds me so much of the Air Jordan 3s and the different color palettes. So it just screams 90s to me. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I'm looking at my, Wave 2 Final Fight now, and I kind of don't want to give that up either. So I'm getting the Capcom Legacy Cabinet, but man, I really don't want to give up my Final Fight Cabinet. And I know every game from the Final Fight Cabinet is on the Capcom Legacy, but I don't know. I don't want to say goodbye to Final Fight. I look at that control deck, everything. No, Tempest, that's the coolest one. I'll get there on that one too, because I'm actually not getting rid of my Centipede cabinet. I am keeping Centipede no matter what. But you look at the Final Fight, and there's just so much I like about it. I've been really nostalgic. I've been playing a lot of Final Fight 1944, even some Ghosts and Goblins the last little while. So, I don't know. I don't want to get rid of Final Fight. All the games are going to be on the Capcom Legacy Cabinet. But then I ask you the question. When these cabinets start to have 12, 15, 20 games, are they still kind of dedicated cabinets, or do they start to become more multicades then at that point? I don't know. Let's look what you guys are saying here in the comments. Steve Victoria, I don't think I am getting them. I know there will be another Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat with Wi-Fi on the way. Steve, that's a very good point. There's a very realistic possibility that if you're buying these for Mortal Kombat or for Street Fighter, and you don't really care about the other games, there's probably going to be better versions coming up of both those games down the line. So that's something to consider. Stephen C. getting Tempest. Tempest for Asteroids. I love that Tempest cabinet. It is so pretty. No Tempest. A lot of people are getting Tempest. Matt Tucker pre-ordered MK because of Tapper. Yeah, Root Beer Tapper. That's really cool they included it. I wanted Midway, but I need that Wi-Fi. See, the thing is, your average gamer, I think there is going to be a Mortal Kombat cabinet coming down the line with Wi-Fi. I don't think it'll be this year. I think it'll be next year. But we're going to get a Mortal Kombat cabinet with Wi-Fi at some point. I'll be keeping Street Fighter 2 and Final Fight cabs. MVSX looks after all my Capcom Legacy needs. There you go, Derek Rochelle's. I know you're a big MVSX guy anyways, and it's true. Like, if you've got those games in another way, you don't mind playing them on a multicade, you can totally do it. Unless you know the 1UP roadmap, it's hard to buy these legacy cabinets not knowing what else is on the way. Yeah, here's the thing about that, though. Like, they've mentioned that these legacy cabinets are going to be evergreen products. So, looks like they're going to constantly be available. So, I don't think that there's going to be a better legacy cabinet coming up down the line. But I think there might be other versions of, like, Street Fighter 2 down the line. You just have to pick the art you like. That's what should stay in your collection. 100%. And there's the other thing, too. Like, I don't buy these just so I can play the games. I mean, I have a Legends Ultimate. I can play everything on that pretty much. But I like the idea of having a classic arcade in my house. So I like the cabinets. I like the way they look. I like the art. So, yeah, I'm kind of buying them for the functional furniture, too. I know it might sound a little bit weird, but I like it. I think if you own Rampage already and the MK already, the Midway Legacy is a downgrade. You lose 3-player Rampage, that's true. And Paperboy and Tapper with a joystick, they deserve better. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Tapper's controls aren't 100% accurate. Also, Tubin has different controls, but it's okay because it's just buttons you press on Tubin. Joust and Wizards of War are great games. All the legacy you need. Yeah. If only 1UP would put LED scoring on Dragon's Lair, I would need that one. Yeah, a lot of people. Oh, Zohar, you put in a super chat. I am so sorry. Zohar, thank you so much. I think this is the only legacy cabinet that makes sense. The other ones are confusing. Really love this one, though. Fixes the issues on Street Fighter 2. Thank you so much for saying that, Zohar. There's a lot of really good things about that. It does fix the sound issues from the original Arcade1Up Street Fighter 2. Also, you're getting an upgraded screen, and hopefully the controls are a little bit better. I didn't really like the controls on the Legacy 1 Street Fighter 2 cabinet, so hopefully, right around Wave 2 and Wave 3, the controls got a little bit better, so hopefully the controls are better too. That's an excellent point, Zohar. Thank you so much. And I really got to jump in and grab a moderator here. I got to keep my eyes open for the super chats. I got to do a better job of that. Sorry, Zohar. MVC got great reviews, not selling it anymore, though. Yeah, Jelly Green, that's the crazy thing. So we do have a shipment coming here to Canada for Marvel vs. Capcom, and that was supposed to be here at the beginning of March. Already supposed to be in people's hands. People have pre-ordered. It's now delayed till May. So there is some Marvel vs. Capcoms coming. Adam Kalb, message retracted. I'm really disappointed I can't see Adam's comment there. Let's go through. Totally getting the Atari and Namco legacy cabs. The Namco one is one that really breaks my heart because it's got that... Oh, yeah. I'll come back to you 1 second on that one, Chris. The Namco legacy cabinet, I'm hoping that it doesn't have that screen filter. And if I didn't have the Pac-Man 40th, 100% I would get the Namco legacy. But... Don't get moderators. They mess things up. Trust me on this one. That's true, Zohar. I just got to do a better job of watching the comments. You're right. I never got the OG Street Fighter. I do have the Legacy on pre-order. And see, the people that never got some of these original cabinets, you guys are laughing because we're here trying to decide whether or not we want to get rid of our Final Fight and our Street Fighter 2 and spend more money to get the Legacy cab and possibly sell those. You guys are just rocking it. Like, you basically just say, I'll just buy these and get all these games now. The Capcom Legacy is also interesting, too, because it also has, Darkstalkers, Commando. The only thing I don't like about Commando's a vertical game, so it's going to be a little smaller on the screen. But then again, the vertical on the horizontal screen is not as bad as horizontal on a vertical. You can build all that and more. Yeah, I know. Like, if I want to do multicade, I could do a multicade, 100%. But, I've got multicades, and they're awesome. But I like the Arcade1Up. And I know I could also mod Arcade1Up and put my own art on it. I'm considering doing that. That's the other thing. If I get the Legacy cabinets and I've got, like, an extra Street Fighter 2, maybe that becomes something else. Love my Super Pac-Man, no need for the Legacy. Jelly Green, we didn't get Super Pac-Man in Canada. We couldn't buy it. Wait on Wi-Fi. I know, and Zero Hero, that's what kills me, because I know there's going to be Street Fighter 2 Wi-Fi cabinet coming at some point. But the question is, do I want to wait for Wi-Fi, and I don't know what the games list on that's going to be? Or do I want to get this, where I know what the games list is, and I'm getting a bunch of games that I can just play? But I also really like playing, like, X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom online. I know I'm going to like playing Street Fighter 2 online, so it's tough. Brad O'Connell, no mods, yeah. Any scoop from Nostalgia? What does he think about it? I didn't get a 1-up pinball yet. I'll tell you a funny story about that. I actually was all weekend debating, because the Marvel one was actually up on Walmart. I could have it in, like, basically less than 2 weeks. So it would have been here on the 11th of March. And I was back and forth. My wife was really mad at me because she was saying, you don't need 3 pinballs, because I already have Attack from Mars and the At Games Legends pinball already ordered. And then I had never even played them, and I'd been down on the Zen pinball that wasn't based on real pinball tables. So I said, whatever. I'm going to download them on my computer. It's only $26. It's the cost of, like, McDonald's for the family. So I downloaded the Marvel pack, and I really, really liked them. So I was like, well, obviously I'm an idiot and should have jumped on this Marvel pinball. So I went back to Walmart and Walmart.ca to order it, and they had sold out. So I missed my opportunity. No Marvel for me. I can still get Street Fighter Star Wars or Marvel from the brick, but they wouldn't be delivered until, like, the 24th. So around that time, my Attack from Mars should be available anyway, so I'm going to hold off. Yeah, World Warrior artwork is awesome on the Capcom Legacy. 100% agree. I think it looks beautiful. It looks better than the Championship Edition cabinet, so yeah, that's another big reason I want to get it. Question is, will Street Fighter Wi-Fi have all these games? See, I don't think so. I know nothing about this. I don't know if they're ever going to come out with one, but we kind of know they're going to come out with one. And I think it's mainly going to just be Street Fighter games. I think you're going to see the same 3 that were on the original cabinet, plus Street Fighter 1, and maybe, Street Fighter... basically all the Street Fighter games from the cocktail table and now the Legacy Cab. That's what you'll see on it. I think you'll see 5 Street Fighter games. Did I break 100,000 in Galaga? I have only recently really got into Galaga since I got my Pac-Man 40th cab, and I've mainly been playing Pac-Man. And no, but I did up my score from, I think my top score was 58,000 to 75,000 yesterday, so I'm still working on it. Games over feeding family. Nice. Stu, you're a pretty dark dude. Games over feeding family. That's my buddy, Mr. Dude 206. And he's a great guy. Go check him out. He does... he actually just sold his X-Men vs. Street Fighter original dedicated cabinet. So he's, just let it go. Had to let it go. Needed money for car parts. He also does car stuff. So if you like car stuff, go check out Mr. Dude 206. He also does some really good gaming stuff, too. I think I'm going to buy Pac-Man in the yellow cabinet. See, that's the thing that kills me. If I didn't have Pac-Man 40th, if I had waited, I would be all over the Namco Legacy cabinet. But I've got Pac-Man 40th, and they said they were going to do the update to it so we could get the better graphics. So that's, I don't know. I'm undecided. I could buy every single one of those Legacy cabinets, honestly. Mr. Steven, they just mean playing online, brosif. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, Chrissy, we were talking. Chrissy was like, oh, I'm going to get it through Shields. And he ordered one, and they canceled on him today. They ran out of stock. That's the thing. Like, we got a place here called Buy Stuff Store, and the At Games people here in the chat know about Buy Stuff Store. They're the ones that, they've got all this cool stuff going. They actually brought in a couple Marvel pinballs here in Canada, but, I mean, they got, like, 6 in. So, like, these places, yeah, they have them out there, but very limited stock. And, yeah, Jeff, you tell them, because we actually got tons of ramen here, and my daughter loves ramen. And if we're not eating ramen, you know what we're eating? Chef Boyardee. Yeah, without a dedicated online play, At Games Ultimate Legends Arcade will play Street Fighter fine for me. You see, there's a million different ways you can do this. You play it the way that you want, and maybe one day we're going to see Street Fighter on Arcade.net, and then we could play together on that. Who knows? See, Mr. Steven, I could buy them all. Like, here's the thing. I'm keeping my Centipede 100%. Well, because I love my Centipede cab. I got Glenn's version 2 spinner in it. It plays perfectly. It's got a big vertical screen. Eventually, Michael B., can you give your average gamer a live shout out on your show? Let's get him over 200 subscribers tonight. Young gun, up and comer. Yeah, absolutely. I'll go back to my Centipede comment in a second, but Mango's 100% right. Guys, go check out your average gamer. Really super nice guy. Really, really good at Fatal Fury Special. When we played together, he destroyed Nostalgia. And great guy. So go check out your average gamer for me. I would appreciate that. Is that like a pawn shop? No, it's where you go to buy stuff, Jeff Rainwater. They have stuff for sale. So you go there and you buy stuff. I don't know. I've never actually looked into what they do. I think it's just like random electronics and stuff like that. Hey, do you know why the stand-up outrun is not out yet? That's a really good question. I think it's just a matter of limited supply. You guys are lucky because I reached out to my contact here in Canada who sells the Arcade1Up, does like that point of sale with the stores. And it doesn't look like we might even be getting stand-up outrun here in Canada. So I was really disappointed because I don't want to buy sit-down outrun because I think it's really cool, but it's too small. I mean, and I asked this on Retro Buzz the other night, and I think this is a conversation we should have. And maybe this will be another Chill and Chat episode. We'll talk about it. If they do another, no sweat, your average gamer. If they do another sit-down cab, I'm totally fine with that. And I actually think driving cabs should be sit-down cabs, but it's got to be taller. Both the cabinet and the bench have to be raised up so you're at a better height. Is it like a Best Buy? No, it's not like a Best Buy, Brad O'Connell. Buy Stuff Store. They're great guys. I've just never been there because it's too far away from me in Canada right now, so I can't tell you exactly what's in the store. Yeah, I'm keeping my Centipede because it's got the vertical screen, and I know people love the Atari 12-in-1 cabinet that was out before, but I can't get my head around playing Centipede on that horizontal screen. I'm sure it's fine, but I got Glenn's trackball on my Centipede. I love the art. I'm sorry for hitting the mic. I really hope Arcade1Up actually comes through and releases the Centipede light-up marquee for it, so I'm keeping my Centipede. I love that Tempest cab, though. It's beautiful. I might end up getting a Tempest anyway. It's just for the art on the outside, and I know I'm nuts. Arcade1Up, House of the Dead, or Virtua Cop. Stu, you're onto something there. I don't think we're going to get it this year, but I think we are going to get an Arcade1Up House of the Dead next year. That's my thoughts on this. Michael, I know you're not interested in the Pong table, but any word of it coming to Canada? No, we had Arlene from The Brick, if you're in the Canada group, Canada Facebook page, she asked a question if any of us were interested in a Pong cabinet, and we were all like, no, Arlene, I think that's a little outside our age range, or it's not something we'd be super interested in. So I don't know if The Brick has any plans on bringing it in just because there was a lack of interest. So if people are interested in the Pong table, because she just said a cabinet, but if that Pong table is something we're interested in, that's something we could definitely bring up with her and see if she would be interested in bringing it in. But I haven't heard about Best Buy. The only thing I heard was from The Brick asking if people were interested in a Pong cabinet itself. No, nuts. The artwork is a major reason to buy these cabinets. It is. It totally is for me. Now, at the same time, I have a bunch of these cabinets, and they're at the point where they're kind of jammed together, so you don't see the artwork much. So I get it when people also give me crap about that and say, well, you don't even see the artwork. Was it easy to change a spinner? Super easy. Glenn's stuff is 1,000,000%. Like, super easy. I'm not a mod guy, and like I'm terrified when I'm taking these cabinets apart and trying to do this stuff. That it's so beyond my comprehension level. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. So super easy to change it out. The only problem is, and this is what I learned the first time I did something, Arcade1Up doesn't put stuff on normally. Like everything is glued on like crazy. It's just glue everywhere. So make sure you have a good hair dryer there that's hot, because you're going to have to heat up that glue to loosen stuff before you remove it from the cabinet, or else you're going to break it up. Will 1UP possibly re-release Marvel vs. Capcom? I don't think you're going to get a re-release of Marvel vs. Capcom. I think eventually they'll release a Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and a lot of those games will be on it, especially Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, the way a cabinet looks is usually important. If it was just about the games, everybody could play these games basically 100%. Like, there's a million different ways for me to play Burger Time. Burger Time plays great on the Legends Ultimate Cab. I have it on Raspberry Pis. Like, there's a million different ways. I didn't need to order directly from Arcade1Up and pay a bunch of shipping so I could play Burger Time. I did it because that cabinet was beautiful, and I wanted to add the cabinet to my collection. And that's why you will always find it on the end of one of my rows and visible. Thoughts on 6-player X-Men cab? Should I risk it and get the 4-player? I got a question. Like, it'd be really cool for the screen to have like a wide screen so you can see the game in that widescreen view. But why in God's name would anybody want a six control panel X-Men cab? Like, I would like it for the double screen if they could do that, but I wouldn't want 6 control panels. That's way too big. Even the original cabinet, like Arcade Collectors, they think it's cool, but it's just too big to have in your house. You can fit 3 full humans inside the control panel. There's nothing in it. It's completely empty, just to make space for 6 people to stand around it. I don't know if it's something you really want, sure, but no one's gonna. You're never gonna have 6 people over probably playing that. Maybe you would. I don't know. I think maybe there's a chance, but I don't know. I'm gonna get the 4-player one. I don't understand why they can do Wi-Fi on Marvel but not on Street Fighter. Because Zohar, they're going to release another Street Fighter down the line with Wi-Fi. The legacy cabinets are the cheaper cabinets, the ones coming up. Adam, why do your messages always come up as message retracted, brother? I really hope someone didn't do something as long as you're doing it, that's all that matters. As long as there's not something weird happening with the chat. Who has 6? I don't have 6 friends. Well, right now we're on lockdown because of COVID, so I literally would just basically force my wife and daughter to play with me. So I would still need to find another 3 people. And the other thing, you got to remember, the 4-player cab is going to be 6-player because we can go online and it's going to be Wi-Fi, so people can jump in. How many Arcade1Up cabinets do you have already? I have 14 currently. How do you feel about getting the Buck Hunter cab? Matt Tucker, if I had an endless supply of room and an endless supply of money, I would absolutely have Buck Hunter, but, I'm at that point where I've almost got a full room and I've got to be really selective. And Buck Hunter was $7.49 here in Canada. It's not a game I put a lot of time into in arcades. I'm not nostalgic for it at all, even though I think it's cool, the guns, but I had to hold off, and it killed me. Now, not getting outrun killed me more, but I held off. Yeah, Zohar, totally fine. And you know what? I think you're going to be a happy dude, not this year, but next year, because I do think they're going to come out. They're going to do a MK that's going to be more of a premium cabinet, give you a lot of the things you want, and be Wi-Fi enabled. I 100% believe that's coming. So this Midway Legacy cabinet's coming out. I know it's disappointing, but just let that go, because you're going to get what you want. It's going to be a while, that's all. MK save money, mod TMNT with a Raspberry Pi. I did, and it's awesome. I know I have that option. I totally get it. But, I'm fine. I like having the multiple cabinets. I like having the original artwork. I like that arcade feel. It makes me think that I'm going back to my childhood arcade, walking up, watching other people play, just hearing the sounds. I like it. I know I could do multicades. I have a Legends Ultimate Cab, and I can play every game I ever wanted on that. But I also really like seeing all the arcades together. So Sling Spade brings up a good point. Maybe on the Street Fighter Wi-Fi cabinet, it's going to be an anniversary cab, and they're going to include the alphas too. Yeah. Thank you very much for suggesting that, Camo. I really appreciate that. It's like the original. I'm picking up the 6-player. If they put a bunch of fancy artwork on it, I'm a little concerned. Yeah, I got a question for you. What do you think the point of that artwork contest was? Arcade1Up needs to go Wi-Fi on all future cab releases. Oh, Adam, we're going to come back to that. Please don't retract that one, and don't let me forget that, but I want to come back to that. First, I got to ask, what do you guys think was the point of the artwork contest? Now, I've got a couple theories on it. They're going to keep re-releasing games, and eventually they're going to run out of artwork. They're not going to release Pac-Man every single time with the exact same artwork on it. So we just saw the Pizza Hut Pac-Man. So maybe they're looking for some interesting concepts and trying to see if the community would be interested in buying arcade cabinets that don't have original art. John needs a sign with Capcom. That would be huge, Jolly Green. So the other thing, Adam, I 100% agree that every cab going forward should have Wi-Fi. And it's not just for the playability. Every cab should be Wi-Fi connected just so they can update. If there is something wrong with the cabinet, if they need to do some kind of upgrade, it would be so much easier if they just had a Wi-Fi connection and they could just push out the update for people to do. 100%. It would also protect their boards so people can't do piracy. The way that it's set up now, people can get in and fool around with the boards, and they shouldn't have done that. Also, the process for updating your cabinet, I did it. It's hard. It's almost like Hack-Chi with a NES Mini, and not everybody's going to find that easy. So I would like to see all their cabinets with Wi-Fi for the simple fact of just being able to update them. Would you be on board for Silver Strike Cab, even if it was a solo license game? Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never played Silver Strike, but I like bowling games. I loved Wii bowling, so I think it would be a good idea. I actually didn't like the idea of the Golden Tee Silver Strike combination cab. I've never been a big fan of that. I know people are looking to get that, everybody remembers the Miss Pac-Man Galaga anniversary cab, and people were saying, oh, that'd be so cool. I didn't like that. I don't like those smushed together artworks. It's like a multi-artwork. That's not for me. So I would rather see Silver Strike get its own dedicated cab. I'm also the weirdest guy in the world. If these Arcade1Ups had one game on them, I would buy them. As long as it was the right game and it was dedicated. And also think about the benefits of that. There's no way the controls are going to be messed up if it's just one game. Not everybody's going to feel that way. Everybody likes getting multiple games. Agreed about Wi-Fi. I don't need downloadable games. I just want to feel secure about stability updates. That's a really good point. I know Nostalgia did a video on Hack-Chi. Zohar, I am going to get an MBSX. Let me tell you a little background on it. I have one in my cart right now. I've had it in my cart for a while from Canada Computers here. And I'm waiting on getting it, but I'm supposed to get the traveling review unit to test. So every time I talk about buying it, Nostalgia reminds me that the traveling review Neo Geo MVSX is at his house, and it's on its way to me. So I've just been waiting so I could test out the review unit before I make my decision on whether or not I'm going to buy it. I'm probably going to get one. It's in a cart. I'm waiting to get it. It's just, I have this other one coming that I want to try first. Do you think we'll get a Street Fighter 3 trilogy or Street Fighter Alpha trilogy cabs? Eventually. It's just, I don't know if... it should work on their hardware, right? If it works on their hardware, I can't see any reason why we wouldn't. And John D's got a great relationship with Capcom. I don't think it'll be too hard to, get these things. I saw another comment up there that I really, really like, talking about Robotron 2084. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I think we're getting a Smash TV cabinet. I think 100% they're doing a Smash TV cabinet that's going to have Smash TV as the main game with their artwork. I think it's going to have Total Carnage, and I think it's going to have Robotron 2084. That's why I've been pushing so hard for them to make the dedicated Robotron 2084 cabinet. I know a lot of people don't like the artwork as much as they like Smash TV, but, you know, people with, like, a big arcade collector hobby mentality, like, and people outside of kind of our age generation, we're all 90s kids. That's probably why we think of Smash more. But like original arcade enthusiasts, they all need to have a Robotron in their collection. So I would love to see Robotron Arcade1Up. I think we're going to get Smash TV, but I would love to see Robotron. Let me just go through the cabinets. Smash TV has iconic artwork. I know, Zero Hero. Bowling golf combo bad. I never played Robotron in the arcade either, only the Atari 70, but I hear a legit dual stick setup. Oh my god, yes. See, Zero Hero doesn't like Robotron. Different strokes for different folks, right? I love Robotron, and I agree with Brad O'Connell. It's a masterpiece. I have it on my Legends Ultimate, and I can play it with dual stick, and it is pretty dope. Like when I started playing it on the Legends Ultimate with the twin sticks, I know MVSX. I love the idea of like if there's one dedicated multicade that makes sense, it's the Neo Geo MVSX, because every single Neo Geo MVSX game came on that cabinet. So like it uses a similar button configuration. It had the same art. There is no multicade that makes more sense for me to get than the Neo Geo MVSX. So I'm gonna do that. And guys, don't forget, we have Super Game Room Dudes merch. P-Dubs is here in the chat telling me I've got to plug the merch. So go check out Nostalgia's Teespring for our Super Game Room Dudes merch. It's flantastic. Oh my god, Brad, you met Eugene Jarvis. That's incredible. I don't know him. I used to talk sometimes with the guy from Arcade Impossible, and he actually met somebody. I think it might have been Eugene Jarvis, because he bought a Robotron test cabinet. It's like a little test cabinet, and part of the purchase that he made was he got to go to dinner with Eugene Jarvis, I think. He was at one of the pin events I went to before COVID. Oh, that's really, really cool. We need Qbert, long overdue. Yeah, so they can totally make a Qbert cabinet, Qbert and Qbert cubes. I think there would be enough people interested in the community to do a small run. They could do it. Thank you very much, Zohar. I just got your message. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, Brad, I would do that too. I'll tell you a funny story. I'm at, what's my day job? I'll tell you. I am the executive director for a local charity here that helps people with spinal cord injuries and mobility impairments get out of rehabilitation, back into the community, whether that's in their own home or they go somewhere else. And we also help those people find jobs and careers afterwards. So yeah, that's what I do for a living. Now, I'm mainly the administrator. I, run most of the things and make sure it works. Yeah, I would love a Donkey Kong, but I mean, jeez. I don't think we're going to get it. If we do get it, it's probably not going to be from Arcade1Up. I think it'll be from Qbert Countercade first and then full size maybe. If we ever get a Donkey Kong, it'll be something from Arcade1Up. And sadly, me and Nostalgia were talking about this last night. I think it'll be more like Quarter Arcade more than an Arcade1Up. He plugged the merch. Thanks, P-Dubs. Yeah, it is a really rewarding job. It's really good. I've got great staff, and you get to do a lot of really cool stuff. Sometimes it's hard because you want to help people and you're limited. You can only do so much. But, you try your best, and you try to do good things for things for people and make them happy. Version 2 SNK with some of the older SNK games. Conti, my friend, how are you? Conti, everybody's favorite Canadian arcade enthusiast is here. How are you, my friend? Do you give 5 times someone plugs your merch? Jeff Rainwater's on to P-Dubs. I now love my... Oh, thank you so much, Your Average Gamer. I really appreciate that. Yeah, next on Glenn's. This... My job is being a money-grubbing accountant. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually... not an accountant, but I do a lot of accounting in my job because we're a relatively small organization, so I wear a lot of hats. So, some days I'm doing, like, last week I had to do a lot of HR stuff, so I was doing hiring. Most weeks I'm doing mostly accounting stuff, so, yeah. Accounting's fun, too. Like, people think it's boring, but it's fun. We need more cabs in Canada. Hey, listen, I made a video about almost a year ago now talking about Arcade1Up in Canada, and I put my thumbs down and talked about how hard it was to get stuff here, and it has got about 17 times better than that. I'm sure that I didn't make anybody happy at Arcade1Up with my video, and I didn't come after them. I just talked about how hard it was for us to get stuff here. But... since then, if it did one thing, we got a lot better selection. More retailers are carrying it. Heck, Best Buy has this stuff in store most times. Like, I picked up my X-Men vs. Street Fighter, just randomly walked into the store and it was there. So I got to give Arcade1Up a huge load of credit for, coming here and getting their stuff in stores and making it so much better for us. Oh my god, guys, you don't have to do this. Will there be more shipments of Midway Legacy Cabs? Are they gone for good? There will 100% be more shipments of Midway Legacy Cab. They are saying, thank you so much, Nathan Henderson. There will be more shipments of the Midway Legacy Cab. The Midway Legacy Cab is an evergreen product. That's the way it was explained to us. So expect it to be there year-round. I think what happened now is they just got a limited amount in, so they can only offer... right now, under the time period, they know that many cabs, and that's why it's sold out. Hi, Michael B. I bought the MVSX from Canada Computers. They have a sale for $5. I know. That's why I've been waiting. Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat. I am 100%, looking at that. That deal is what's got me completely turned on to the MVSX here in Canada, and also the fact, like I mentioned earlier, if there was ever a multicade that made sense, every single one of those games was in that cabinet in the arcade. So no matter what you're playing, it's accurate to that cabinet. Thoughts on PC emulation? Yeah, I'm fine with PC emulation. I have no issue with it. I actually just recently bought my first ever real gaming PC here recently. It's mainly for YouTube, for doing this and for making videos, but I've been gaming on it a little bit, and I gotta say, I'm having a lot more fun, and PC emulation lets you do a lot more stuff than you can do with a Raspberry Pi. So I saw Jason Third Floor Arcade put a comment up here I wanted to see. Jason, there's a lot here. Accounting is fun when your accountants are not convoluted and everything balances at the end of the day. Otherwise, accounting is work. Accounting is always work, but it's fun work if you like that type of stuff. Michael B. What should I order? The Retromania, II Arcade, or Arcade1Up Attack from Mars? Oh, you can't ask me this stuff. I don't know, man. That Retromania II Arcade is really, really nice looking, and the II Arcade is a fun product. But what do you want in your third floor arcade? Like, I mean, here's the truth of it. Like, all the stuff you have up there is based on old arcade stuff, like my arcade. So if you bring in that Retromania cab, it does have a look to it like the original WrestleFest cab, so that works. But Arcade1Up Attack from Mars Pinball looks like the original pinball cabinet, and it will fit right in with a classic arcade. So you got to make a decision for you what you want there. Either way, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Both of them play great. Well, I don't know about the Arcade1Up pinball yet, and we can talk about that too, because a lot of people are really bumming me out talking about their Arcade1Up pinball experience. They don't like it, and it's really making me sad because I'm so excited. Want an Attack from Mars pinball? Oh, brother, I want one too. WKRP in Cincinnati need Arcade1Up to release Star Wars and Golden Tee and other top cabs again. Out of stock pretty much everywhere in Canada. Yeah, I know, and that, man, that sucks, because where is Star Wars possibly still available? Let me get back to that, back to you on that, WKRP in Cincinnati. I might be able to help you out on that. If you haven't, you might want to try London Drugs. London Drugs was the last place I saw the Star Wars cabinet for sale. I know over Christmas they discounted it down from $6.49 to $5.49 in a lot of places, and pretty much all their stock went. But try London Drugs, and if London Drugs doesn't have it, I'll keep my eye out and keep looking around, and maybe I can try to figure out a way to hook you up. We're all waiting for you to tell us which pinball machine is Cool Toy's favorite. He told me today he's actually getting a shirt made that said, which is my favorite pinball machine. Derek Rochelle, deal is buy online and pick up in store or buy right in store. Oh, it's not with shipping? Are you talking about for the Neo Geo, Derek? We need the Atari Pong pub table here in Canada, Michael B. Well, if you think we need it, I know someone. I could talk to them and see if they'll bring it in and carry it in their stores. I'll see what I can do. Don't forget about the Super Game Room Dudes merch. Okay. Where's my $5? Jamie wants his $5, or else he'll send you a cease and desist, P-dubs. Any confirmation? Okay. I'm just trying to get caught up here. Any confirmation? It's at London Drugs, but they ship east. Yeah, I'm in Newfoundland, and I've bought from London Drugs. They do ship out to the East Coast, so the only thing is, I think they might charge you for shipping, but that might be your only option of picking it up right now. Hammer Schlemmer something. Yeah, Hammer, I've never seen it. Hammacher Schlemmer is another company that has the Star Wars Arcade1Up. They ship to Canada, and my friend Detroit Love actually bought his Star Wars from them recently, so that's another option. See you later, Bobby Vu. Thank you so much for coming, man. Is Killer Instinct going to be evergreen? No, Killer Instinct is going to be just like one of the regular cabs. If you don't buy it, after a certain period of time, you won't be able to get it again. Able to get another replacement equal to Zen since they left. Well, at Games, Zen never left at Games, but right now they've got Farsight with the Gottlieb tables. They've got Magic Pixel with Zachariah. Magic Pixel will do some excellent work too, by the way. And you never know what's in the future. That's all I'll say. Kneel before Zod. Wouldn't give me the option anyways. Yeah, I will talk to you a little bit later about that WKRP Cincy. I think I might be able to help you there. Can you please say Newfoundland again? Yes, I just did. Okay, so am I getting Street Fighter Legacy? Yes, I'm definitely going to get the Street Fighter Legacy. It's just, I'm starting to feel pretty nostalgic for my Final Fight cabinet. I don't know if I want to give it up. No, buy more cheeseburgers. You know, that's an option too. The thing is, I'm actually on a cheeseburger sabbatical right now because my favorite food truck is actually closed down for the winter. So I'm on a little bit of a break here. And our pandemic is a little bit out of control here in Newfoundland right now. So we're on alert level 5. So we're not really eating in anywhere. So I'm on burger hiatus until things go back to normal and my favorite food truck, Johnny and Mays, opens up again. Michael B. is a newfie. That is correct. Care to break any NDAs tonight about pinball tables? Well, it depends on what you mean. What do you want to know? Arcade1Up change machine. I had drugs that made me think I was in London. They ended poorly as well. I was so surprised when I found out London Drugs were selling Arcade1Ups in Canada. Arcade1Up told me because I was vicious, and I was like, how come we can't buy Final Fight here in Canada? And I kept writing them, and they were like, well, check London Drugs. And I checked, and it was actually on sale with free shipping to me at the time. And I was like, well, I apologize for getting mad at you, but it was the only store in Canada that actually carried the Final Fight cabinet. Namco should release a Tekken Soul Calibur cabinet. Yeah, I mean, Soul Calibur is a hard game to emulate, so... Yeah, I don't disagree with you. See, Zod Writer, that's what I'm thinking too. Wait for Wi-Fi. I don't know, Zero Hero. Like, I don't know. If they release a pole position, would you break it down like the original? Pole position I would get. I've never played pole position, but I will tell you something. All the arcade, like, original enthusiasts die for that game. That's their favorite driving game. Apparently you have to modify it a little bit to make it work. No, Alyssa Milano's not here yet. P-dubs. Yeah, Devil Waldo. So here's the thing, like, a lot of people have been throwing the 100K update. Not yet, Sam Newsman. I'm trying. Shotgun Sean, thank you so much for coming. So the Arcade1Up pinballs, like, I talked to a couple people here in Canada that got their pinballs, and they're saying some really disappointing things. They're saying screen looks a little bit washed out. They're saying that, there's a lot of jaggies. Graphics don't look that sharp. And it's disappointing. Now, they're saying it plays well. It really plays well. It's just mainly the screen looks washed out and there's some jaggies. But see, the thing is, they're using pretty much their, like, a standard board or the Raspberry Pi board to run these pinballs. And these pinballs are meant to be running on, like, Switch, PlayStation 4, computers. So what I think they're doing is, I think they're doing some kind of backwards emulation where it's basically taking the good version and then downgrading it to make it work on their hardware, and that's what's happening. You'll see it a lot of times. Like, I've got a picture here on my phone. I don't know if I can bring it up to see if I can explain it to you. I showed it to the guys for the Super Game Room dudes earlier today. Let's see if I can bring it up for you. And I don't know how this is going to translate on camera, but I had, for a grand total of 3 hours, Mortal Kombat 11 on the Nintendo Switch. And I took it back to the store, and I was like, this is junk. And I got the PlayStation 5 version. But I don't know if you can see that picture, but you'll notice that her hair is all kind of washed out and pixelated, and there's some weird glimmering effects going on with the graphics. That's because this game... oh, yeah, now I'm out of focus, so I did this to myself. So the reason why is because the Switch, the way they get, like, PlayStation 4 games to work and Xbox One games to work on the Switch is they figured out some way to basically copy and paste the better graphics into a lower thing. And it's not a 720 monitor. The monitor in the Arcade1Up pinball is a 1080 monitor. It's actually downgraded to 720p to keep the constant frame rate. But the reason why is, yeah, they're using some kind of technology like the Switch uses when it tries to play PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games. It's basically a downgrade, copy and paste type thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I think that's why you're seeing, like, when B. Kong showed the picture of Boba Fett, and it looked, like, really, like, crappy, right? And, like, he also had jaggy edges around him. I think that's why. I think it's some kind of software downgrade to make it work on the chip that they have in place. I know the pinball police are always watching, but I 100% think I'm right on this. The thing is, I've seen other people today, like, I was actually depressed yesterday. Like, I got depressed about it because I'm so excited for these pinballs. And I've seen some people today post say, you know, the graphic stuff's getting a little bit overblown. People are expecting too much. It plays really good. It sounds really good, and it looks beautiful. So I'm a little bit more optimistic again today. Now, Cool Toy, his pinball table, he announced that it got broken, so that's why he did the mod on it. And everybody's saying, oh my god, his pinball table broke. You have to remember, there were only 3 of those tables made. So Andy got one, got Attack from Mars. Ralph got Star Wars, and Cool Toy got Marble. These were pre-production units. These were not finalized units. This was basically, you know, hammered together and thrown out to these guys so they could review them. And I think the reason Cool Toy stuff fell apart isn't because there's anything wrong with the cabinets. I think it's just... Horrible decision by Arcade1Up to only 720p in 2021. 24-inch screen is small. I don't disagree with that. It's a small screen, and the 720p, honestly, it's like it's a 1080 screen. It's a 1080 screen. They could have went 1080, but it's just, you know, it's to make the hardware work. They should have went with. It's not the screen that's the issue. They should have put a more powerful chip in there. That's the truth. I think we can all stop the argument of 720 versus 1080 now. It's not even the 720 thing. Listen, I run pinball at 720. It's not a problem. I think that it's the chip. That's where I'll stay on this one forever. On the early failure of Cool Toys Excited Driver Board, I maybe I'm late on this one, Meatball Saucy, but I just gave it. You know, they sent him out a pre-production unit, and it was kind of slapped together to make sure he could show it off. Kangzaros, hello, my friend. How are you? 1080 screen should show 1080 picture. Yeah, and if you watch Cool Toys video, it's outputting a 1080. It's the technology, 100%. And I think, like I've shown for the new people coming, when a Switch plays PlayStation 4 games, they use some kind of downgrade technology that sometimes will have shimmer effects and stuff like that to get the modern picture to work on their screen. So when B-Kong showed that picture of Boba Fett and how bad Boba Fett looked, it reminded me of my Mortal Kombat 11 experience on my Switch. Yeah, I mean, Zen Pinball works pretty much on everything, but I mean, it's like Restalgia took his. Well, I'm not going to say anything else. Restalgia has the Star Wars Arcade1Up Pinball, and he'll be doing a review on it. Knowing Restalgia, it'll probably be out next June. So if you want to wait for that, he'll explain everything to you. Well, I wouldn't gut it just yet. Wait to see how you like it, Brad, because, you know, let's see how the haptics are like. When's your fire sale to make space for... I call Shenanigan. Oh, there he is. I love Restalgia. Such a good guy. When's my fire sale to make space for all the new cabs? Not yet. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. Like, I got really crazy nostalgic for my Final Fight cabinet the other day, and I don't know if I want to let it go. I know I'm going to have Final Fight on another cab, but I don't know. So I'm trying to gauge what people are next July. Trying to gauge what people are doing here. Are other people totally okay with this? Are you guys going to, you know, sell your original cabinets and go to the Legacy? There's a lot of reasons why. I mentioned it in my Mortal Kombat Midway Legacy cabinet video. I mean, you know, there's all kinds of stuff you can do it. It's better screen, better stereo sound, better controls. So, yeah, there's reasons to do it, but have you thought about the flip grip for the Switch to play pinball? Better on Switch, vertical orientation. I have thought about that. I haven't picked it up yet, though. I'm lazy. Keep it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to convince my wife to let me have more arcade rooms. I'm not going to lie. If I can get that going, oh, yeah, I'm going to be keeping everything. Even all, did you pick one up, Michael? Yeah, I did. I right now I have pre-ordered the Capcom Legacy cabinet and I have the Midway Legacy cabinet. And I don't know if I'm going to sell any of my old ones. And I don't know if I'm going to mod them. I might keep everything. I don't know. I have to admit, I miss a lot of them, especially in Final Fight and Marvel. Yeah, see, Steve, I kind of thought that maybe you would feel that way. Yeah, Camo, see, that's the one I look at and I'm like, yeah, I could let that one go. Pretty easy. And the reason why is because I had a problem getting my control panel deck protector. So someone in the Canadian community was super nice and offered to give me theirs, but it was the wrong control panel. But I ended up buying the right control panel off him, and he sent the deck protector, and it's awesome. But I got to change out the... what do you call them? The springs on the sticks. They got a little loose in shipping. The box kind of got crushed in. And I haven't really played it a lot since I put the new deck on because the controls are just a little bit loose. Maybe once I change out the springs, it'll change my opinion. But right now, Rampage looks like it might be the only one where I'm like, I can let that one go. Get rid of the wife, problem solved. No, my wife is a lawyer who specializes in family law, so I don't think I want to get rid of her. No problems will be solved by that, Kev Grit. No problems. Hey, Michael, just tell her how many inches you need. Wow. Voice chat for Arcade1Up Lobby. I don't want to rematch you until I can talk smack. So I've also got to really apologize to anybody. I've got a couple Arcade1Up voice chat requests the last couple days. This is not a Bluetooth headset. This is actually my headset for the Wii U. I don't have a Bluetooth headset, and that's the reason why I haven't accepted anybody's Arcade1Up chats. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just don't have a Bluetooth headset. $1 for each joystick. Fair deal, Zero Hero. She won't want your cabs in the divorce. I don't know. She's vindictive, man. She knows how much they mean to me. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah, I got a feeling that's going to be coming. London, Ontario's in the house. Nice. Yeah, Michael, Arcade1Up Mini. I don't know how much more mini they could get, Mr. Dude. Yeah, so what they're saying right now is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 probably isn't going to work on the current hardware that they have. And people also said the same. Killer Instinct wouldn't. But from what I understand, like looking at the beta tester program, I think the way the beta tester program is going to work is if you have a X-Men vs. Street Fighter, or if you have Marvel vs. Capcom, they're going to be sending Killer Instinct ROM, like the Killer Instinct beta game, out to you to play on that cabinet, which means they got Killer Instinct working on the current hardware. So I'm interested to see how they did that. Yeah, Wii U headset. I went all in on the Wii U. I got everything. Oh, man, I would love if they came out with a G.I. Joe cap. I tried in that video to say, like, you know, it's a selling point and talk about how retailers would carry it because G.I. Joe's a known name. So, had to take off. Take care, everyone. Thanks for doing the live chat, Mike. Steve Victoria, thank you so much for coming, brother. Yeah, I'm really been enjoying these live chats. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I love connecting with you guys this way. Would you be willing to pay $7.99 give or take for better hardware and harder to emulate games? $7.99 US or Canadian? That's the question I'll ask. At Games entering the 1/4, 3/4 scale market, do you think we'll see Arcade1Up as a multicade? No, I think the most Arcade1Up will go in terms of multicade is these legacy cabs. I mean, 12 games is a lot for them to pack in. House of the Dead 2. I would love House of the Dead 2. Coda Mystics likely has some super optimized emulator to run it. I'm thinking, Nostalgia, you might be right. And I'm thinking it's the same thing I showed you. I keep hitting the mic. It's the same thing I kind of showed you the other day. The way that they make PlayStation 4 games work on the Wii. Like, there's a way they can downgrade it while basically not rewriting the game. And I think that's what they might be able to do to get Killer Instinct running on the cabinet. Yeah, G.I. Joe's a must-own. I love G.I. Joe. One of my favorite arcade games. Like, we were so lucky that it was actually in our arcade, and it stayed there forever. Never got played. Like, it wasn't an earner, as they say in the business, but it was there for a long time. Naomi hardware runs well on the Pi 4, and that's pushing it already. I doubt we'll be out soon for Arcade1Up. Yeah. Yeah, Stu brings up a lot of good points. Infinity Game Table has their multicade, and then they'll release a multicade Infinity cabinet, and that's what the artwork contest was about. You might be onto something there, the Zero Hero. That's a very good point. Yeah, Brad O'Connell says At Games will barely dent Arcade1Up in the 3/4 scale market. See, they're selling different products, man. Like, I will always say that, 100%. They're 100% selling different products. And I think that At Games has a lot of opportunity for growth in that market that isn't necessarily impacted by Arcade1Up, because I think different people will be buying this stuff. Like, more casuals will see the At Games product and think about all the extra stuff they can put on it. Like, maybe some of those same people will see like an Arcade1Up cabinet with Pac-Man art and say, oh, I remember Pac-Man, I definitely want to grab that. But people that are on the fence, casuals, an idea of being able to buy a multi-cave where you can add that much stuff to it, that's right up their line. Got to get tough, yo Joe. Yeah, it was the Sunbow series. That was the theme song for the Sunbow series, right, Sam Newsman? I have it downstairs. I should know that off the top of my head. I always get confused, though, because I always confuse Sunbow and the Deke series. The DIC series was first, and then Sunbow was second. And Sunbow was the not-so-good series. Do we think Killer Instinct release will go without issue? I don't know. Killer Instinct is going to be one of the first games. Killer Instinct and X-Men looks like they're going to be games that go out through the beta tester program. So, I don't know. They're certainly going to have people looking at it first. We never speak of the Sunbow series. And there's things I like about it. I like the fact that they brought back Cobra Commander. He was always my favorite. Yeah, Open Ice, NFL Blitz. I mean, they got to do... That was the DIC song, Sam? Really? No, it wasn't. I got to look this up. I always get those confused. Maybe a firmware update down the road to clean up the resolution for pinball. Conti says, would love to see some kind of premium Arcade1Up cabinet. Yeah, they've been hinting around at that too. And Sunbow greater than DIC. So was Sunbow first and DIC was second? That's what I'm getting confused by. If Sunbow was first, that's good. I've always liked the idea of them coming out with full-size cabinets. Like, if we're talking premium, I want to see a full-size cabinet that's got exact artwork and it's got perfect arcade-accurate controls. I would love to see it. Pre-order Nightmare for Killer Instinct. Yeah, that's going to be a popular cab, but Sunbow was first. So, yeah, the Sunbow series was the best one. DIC was the worst. The second ones were... The G.I. Joe movies were not good. They need to get good if they're going to make more. Are you still happy with the new At Games pinball? I don't have the table yet Vision thing, but I'm happy with playing it on my Legends on my TV so far. I mean, that experience has been very good. DIC never let me down. Space Invaders may very well be the worst cab, but I love the iconic artwork. Yeah, everybody says that. Like, the volume was too high, but... I mean, it just plays Space Invaders, and if you like Space Invaders, it's got really good artwork, and it's fun. I messed it up. DIC is the bad one. Yeah, Kevgrit. That's what I'm just learning, too. I always get Sunbow and DIC mixed up. I always end up calling Sunbow the bad one. And, yeah, it's the second one was the bad one. The one where the slaughter years, I guess would be the best way to call it. Golden Tea would be awesome. How long have we been going for? Just checking to see how long we've been going for, guys. How many games would a full-size cab have it to make it worth it with the particle board? And see, that's the thing. I don't know. I interviewed Joe. I don't know. Will Arcade1Up release Pac-Man? If they come out with a premium cab, P-Dubs, you get my inside on this. If they ever come out with a premium Arcade1Up cabinet that's full-size, accurate controls, I guarantee you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the first cab they're going to release is, in fact, Pac-Man. I got another question for you guys. What do you guys think of these partnerships that they're announcing, like Supreme, the DJ guy that they just did, Dim-Mac, the Street Fighter countercade with? Like, they announced that to us, the core community. Is that something that's exciting to us in the core community? I don't get their excitement for that sometimes, and them expecting us to be excited. I mean, I'm a 40-year-old man. I don't know what Supreme is. I don't know who the guy that they did the Street Fighter stuff was, but I think they're trying to market to outside their core audience. But I don't understand why they try to push the announcement to us to make us excited. Am I just old, or do you guys kind of feel the same way too? Yeah, I see. Supreme was dumb, horrible, no interest at all from me. Where's D-Love sleeping in his flannel pajamas? Yeah, see, I still don't know what D-Love wears to bed. He mentioned it one night. I'm in my jammies, and I'm still on the case. I need to get Leslie Nielsen from Survivor Series 90, SummerSlam 94 in the Search for the Undertakers to find out for me. Pizza Hut, though. I have also made a Supreme dump. You were old, but right. Yeah, I think I am right, Nostalgia. I don't get it. Like, it's something they're excited for, and they should totally be excited. This is going to bring in a new audience for them, and all that stuff. That's great. But, like, I mean, you can't expect your core audience to be like, oh, awesome. Like, that's great. It doesn't make sense. And I am old. Yeah, and some people are going to like the Pizza Hut cabinet, but, like, I mean, I look at it and I'm like, oh, cool, they got a Pizza Hut cabinet, but, like, is that something I'm going to buy? No. Yeah, and see, Aaron, I've mentioned this a couple times, too. It's not exciting at all, but if it means more money so that they can do stuff like Dragon's Lair and other foolishness that I really want to see, cool. I'm totally fine. It's like Pac-Man, right? Everybody says, oh, I'm tired of them releasing Pac-Man. Pac-Man's their cash cow. It's going to make money for the company so they can release more cabinets. So I'm totally cool with that. Supreme is marketed to TikTokers. I'm not on TikTok, see? Do I get a year's supply of pizza? We are not the core audience, according to John. Well, who is their core audience then? Retailers? Okay, here we go. Camo. The haptic is good and adjustable on each table. Sound haptics are coming out different channels, so felt in the right place. Camo must be talking about the At Games pinball, which here there's a bit of an update on this. So my Attack from Mars was originally supposed to be here on February 5th. I had a feeling it wasn't going to get here February 5th. So then it was supposed to be here March 1st. It's March 1st, so it's not here yet. So right now, it's updated for anybody who orders a Arcade1Up Attack from Mars. They should be in the warehouse on the 24th of March and out to people on the 8th of April. So it looks like I'm going to have to wait till the 8th of April before I have Arcade1Up Pinball, the Attack from Mars. But the funny thing is, my At Games Legends Pinball is actually scheduled to be here April 8th. So I might end up getting both of these on the exact same day. So I'll go from having no pinball to lots of pinball. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, it's like WWE really upsets me because you've got this dedicated fan base and they're constantly dumping on them and just doing all this craziness to market to other people when we're the people that watch their stuff and pay the money. But, I mean, they can do without it. I guess Arcade1Up is thinking the same way. I mean, they're pretty good to us, I gotta say. It's just, I don't understand those announcements and some of the business moves they do. It just doesn't seem like that's something that people are going to be super excited about. Oh, Ryan, I'm sorry. yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan. Street Fighter cocktail to play WrestleFest and pretty much everything. I almost bought a Street Fighter cocktail, Sam. I'm going to tell you the truth. Here in Canada, they never went on sale. Best price we had ever seen them was $5.49 at Costco. They had the Capcom Street Fighter Black Edition at Costco for a long time, and they weren't selling them at $5.49, so they put them down to $3.49, and I had to think about it. And if I wasn't getting the Street Fighter Legacy cabinet coming out, I probably would have got that Arcade1Up countercade, but I wouldn't have kept it Street Fighter. I probably should have still got it. I want a cocktail cabinet, like one of those, but. You know, I want it to be, if Pac-Man was $3.49, I'd have it now. Yeah, we did talk about Arcade1Up Cool Toy Pinball. Cool Toys wasn't the finished version. It's a pre-production unit they sent out to him so he could do a review. The reason it failed is because that's a rush product that they got out to him so he could review it. It's not the final product. Don't expect everybody's to fail like Cool Toys. Vince is the supreme carny. WWE will die when he does. He's got a very weird way of looking at things, man. Thank you so much, P-Dubs, for telling people to do that. I appreciate that, brother. I like John D. I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot of people in the community don't like him, but he's always been very personally with me, answers my questions when I talk to him. I don't have any issue with John D. I know that he doesn't... Not everybody in the community feels that way. I don't know what to tell you. I'm pretty easygoing, I guess. Need a legit Sega Legacy cab. Instant buy for a lot of people. You might get one. And that's the other thing. Alan, thank you very much. Really, Nostalgic, one of your solenoids sounds like it's beginning to fail already. That sucks, man. I saw someone else in one of the comments also say that like there's a loose wire or something like that. I do think Robotron 2084 is on the Midway Legacy cab. I wish it's not, unless it's a hidden game. So I think it sucks that Universal never came out. I wanted them to update the artwork. I think all of us would rather have like a Back to the Future cabinet. The problem with that is, how do you get E.T., which is a pretty big franchise, and Jaws, which is a pretty big franchise, to agree to play second fiddle to Back to the Future? I don't know. I didn't like the Universal artwork specifically, but I really like those games. Like, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. My wedding was Back to the Future themed. My first dance with my wife was to Earth Angel. We walked down the aisle when we were announced to Power of Love, and during our wedding video that someone made showing us when we were kids, it was Huey Lewis and the News Back in Time. So I'm a pretty big Back to the Future fan. There might have even been a DeLorean at my wedding. So, big Back to the Future fan. I would love to, if they made the Universal cabinet, we could get that. Yes, Zero Hero. I will. I play, like, if anybody's friends with me on Nintendo Switch, you can see how much Attack from Mars and Zen Pinball I'm playing. So, I think, Chris, I think we're getting a Smash TV cab relatively soon. I've got a very, very strong suspicion that we're getting a Smash TV cab this year. So I think it's a Smash TV. That's going to be the main game on the cabinet. We're going to get Smash TV artwork, and then the two other games on it are going to be Robotron 2084 and Total Carnage. I mean, the last time John D was on the 1UP Weekly, he pretty much talked like they were talking to Eugene Jarvis. They talked about Robotron. They talked about all that stuff. So I think we're getting a cabinet with that collection of games. I just think it's going to be a Smash TV cabinet. I know Zero Hero here in the chat, and a lot of people in the community, they want that Smash TV artwork. I mean, I'm a Robotron fan. I want to see the Robotron artwork, but I think we're going to get that assortment of games at a cab this year. So that's why you won't see it on the Midway Legacy. We don't have Comic-Con. Nostalgia's here in the chat. He goes to some kind of convention in Toronto, and I forget what it's called, but Nostalgia's been telling me I need to head there with him when they do it again. We had another thing called Con Bravo that a bunch of my friends and people I know went to here in Canada a couple times, like the Game Chasers and 8-Bit Eric and a couple other people have gone to Con Bravo. LOL, you love everyone, Michael B. Mrs. Kong's usually a big teddy bear. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Super Game Room dudes, it's the best P-Dubs arcade love. King Kong, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, I do think we're getting that Smash TV. Fan Expo. Yeah, Fan Expo. Matt B might have it right here. Fan Expo Canada. So that's one of the bigger ones we have. I'll probably go to Ottawa gets a Comic Con. I did not know that. Will there be a Comic Con this year? I have no idea. I guess we're going to get a digital E3 again. I'm pretty excited. We have more cabs coming up from Arcade1Up this year, too, at E3. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe that's when we'll get our Smash TV announcement. We'll help you get a Robotron skin. See, yeah, I think if Smash TV does come out, I'm going to have to talk to people about getting its skin for a Robotron cab. Because Robotron it's just too iconic. Like, if you watch, like, John's Arcade, you watch Arcade Impossible, you watch all these arcade collector shows, they don't have Smash TV cabinets in their house. They have Robotron 2084 cabinets, and there's a really good reason for it because it's like one of the best games ever. I know not everybody loves it, but it's so good. And yes, that's where I'm playing Robotron right now, is mostly on the Legends Ultimate cab, and it does play. I know Conti said it too. He said he didn't care if there was a Robotron cab that ever came out because it does play perfectly on the Legends Ultimate. So, yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Chris. I've probably spent more time moderating the chat than I have talking about my own things, but that's what I'm here for. That's why I love doing the show. It's not like I'm playing a game and I miss stuff. I can actually watch you guys and talk to you. Niagara has a Comic-Con. I was in WKRP in Cincinnati. I was in Niagara a couple of years ago randomly for Spinal Cord Injury Consortium. So I was there for this conference on spinal cord injury they hold every year. And I met with the other executive directors of our organizations, and we went to supper at TGI Fridays there in Niagara Falls. And I'm a big horror movie guy, and I did not know at the time that there was actually a horror movie convention going on in town. So I'm sitting down having dinner, and we're talking about different things that's going on with our organizations, what we can expect at the conference over the weekend. And I peer out of my eye there at the bar. There's a guy, and a couple people are talking to him, and I recognize him, and I'm like, Is that Kane Hodder, the guy who played Jason Voorhees in the last couple Friday the 13th movies? So anyways, I told the guys at my table, one of my other executive directors, and he didn't know who I was talking about because, I'm pretty young for my job, or I was anyways. So I said, I'm going to go talk to him. So I went over, and sure enough, sitting there just having a meal at TGI Fridays and a drink, at TGI Fridays, mind you, was Kane Hodder. And I actually got a chance to meet Kane Hodder and talk to him. And apparently there was a big horror convention in town the same weekend. So I might have skipped out on the Spinal Cord Injury Conference at one point and went to the horror conference for a while. Can I send out Genie stickers so that you can put them over your P-Dub stickers? Maybe. You're not the first person to ask me that today. Yeah, I think that there's a very good possibility At Games will release some kind of driving component at some point. I don't know for sure, but I mean, they've got the Bit Blaster coming out now. People have put down their orders on that, so I think at some point we might see some kind of driving conversion thing. That would make sense for them to do. Yeah, Comic-Con announced they'd be going virtual again this year. Yeah, I seen that too. Like when I first, Narc would be a cool cabinet too. Do you guys have you guys ever seen the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? When they go into the Foot Clan lair originally, they have an original Narc cabinet in the background of like Shredder's lair. I love Narc. I had Narc on the NES, so yeah, I would definitely like to see a Narc cabinet, or to see Narc included on some kind of Midway cabinet. Yeah. Sign my Friday the 13th. I mean, be knowledgeable. I didn't ask him to do any of that stuff. I basically just went up to him and said hello. I didn't ask him for anything. I just went and told him that I was a huge fan. I'm weird about meeting celebrities. I'm really shy, and I don't want to I don't want to bother them. So half the time, I went to a WrestleMania, and I went to Fan Access, and I didn't even get in line to meet any of the guys because I was like, what do I say to him? I don't even know what to say. But it's Kane Hodder. I'm a huge Friday horror movie fan, so I had to say hello to him. I just told him I was a big fan of his work, and then he totally offered to take a picture with me. I didn't even ask. come to Chicago to the Galloping Ghost Arcade. I was talking about this the other night. Like, I would love for all of us to get together in some kind of big, like, meetup or something like that. And something like going to Chicago to go to Galloping Ghost, or everybody getting together to go to Fun Spot. I think that'd be such a cool idea. We could all meet up and see each other in person and play a bunch of like arcade games. I would love to do something like that. I think pretty close to Fun Spot too is Pinball Wizard Arcade, and that's a very impressive arcade. And they got a bunch of pinball cabinets there too. He's rough for photos though. Oh no, he was very cool with me. He was like, "Are you coming to the convention?" And I explained to him, I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I'm here for a work convention." He was like, "Well, we got to get a picture then," and he just completely took it with me. I went to arguably one of the worst WrestleManias they say ever, because there was no title changes. I went to WrestleMania 27. Thanks, Nostalgia. I'm probably gonna give it a close it up early here now. Anyways, oh my god, I started at 11. We've gone 12:20. I've gone well over an hour. I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and hanging out tonight. I didn't realize I had gone so long. I was supposed to be watching the time, and I lost track of it. Thank you, everybody. So if anybody hadn't seen, my answer is yes, I have the Capcom Legacy Cabinet and the Midway Legacy Cabinet picked up. My intention is I'm going to consolidate my 4 cabinets to make room for some of these new cabinets coming out. But I'm starting to feel a little nostalgic for my Final Fight cabinet and some of the other ones. So I don't know if I'm going to necessarily get rid of them. I don't know if I'm actually going to make all that much space. Anyways, that's it for tonight, guys. Let me know. I want to meet Michael B in person just to shake his hand. Oh, thank you so much, P-Dubs. I love that. Yeah, and thank you so much, Kevrat. I like talking to you guys, too. All right, guys. Everybody, have a wonderful night. This is Michael B, the Game Genie. And, yeah, we need to do this more often.